Wasim, thanks so much for talking to us. Now, be it the World Cup or the series versus Pakistan, Bangladesh has been doing really well in the recent past. Do you think India would also do well not to take them lightly?
Yes, absolutely. Bangladesh is a very dangerous side. We've just seen in recent past that they won the series 3-0 against Pakistan, won the T20 against Pakistan, and then last year they won 5-0 against New Zealand in Bangladesh. So it's a very formidable side, a dangerous side, and a very talented bunch of players there. They're little pocket rockets, and I think the passion, whatever the passion I've seen in Bangladesh, I was there last year for the T20 World Cup and for, of course, Asia Cup. It was unbelievable. It's like India, Pakistan, every youngster wants to play cricket, and I think coming back to your question, it all depends what sort of team Indian selectors pick up for this tour, for this Bangladesh tour. Either they'll be giving chance to some youngsters. If some youngsters are going, so it'll be quite tough for India. They can't take Bangladesh lightly.
Right, since you talk about which will be the players that will go, now India in the past has rested some of their key players on the tour to Bangladesh. Keeping in mind the form of Bangladesh team, should they send a full strength side or rest a few key players? What are your thoughts on that?
It all depends. You see, if you notice, Indian cricket team has been playing cricket from last at least year and a half on the trot. And I've been working alongside with them for Star Sports in England. We started off in England, Asia Cup, T20 World Cup, England Tour, Champions League, Australia, India, then the World Cup, and now IPL. So if they want to rest a couple of their main players, I'm all for it. But as long as they realize it's a very important tour and it's a very dangerous side they're going to compete against.
Right, since you are a coach and you talk about working with a few Indian players, what do you think are the main reasons that the current Bangladesh team is doing so well as it is?
I think it's the confidence that they're playing international cricket, and it's generally they have experienced players. They're number one all-rounder, one of the top all-rounders in the world, Shakib Al Hasan, who's one of my favorite players. He's very entertaining. Then Tamim Iqbal is averaging 50. Couple of more batsmen last year in Test cricket they averaged more than 50. So that speaks highly of their consistency and their talent. And I think Bangladesh team have realized it's also a little inexperienced side. Again, they're a very different side in Bangladesh because they have so much support. Every game will be packed, I can promise you, and it'll be a great experience for youngsters if they go on to get picked up to play on this trip.
Now, the Indian Test team will have a new beginning under a new captain. You know, Kohli did captain, but he was a stand-in captain earlier. How do you see Virat Kohli's future as the Indian Test captain now?
I think he's got a bright future. He's a person who appears to me that he leads from the front. He has a hard-working guy, good cricketing brain, and of course, very rare talent. And as a young captain, if I'm going to, and doesn't matter which country I'm touring and who I'm playing against, I'll make sure selectors would give him the strongest side possible, because the first 6-8 months for any young captain at Test level is very important to have a couple of wins under his belt, and that also gives them a confidence as a captain he can against the stronger sides.
Wasim bhai, keeping in mind Pakistan's latest results, many former Pak players including Imran Khan and Ramiz Raja have said that it is the worst phase in Pakistani cricket. Do you think no team touring Pakistan is one of the main reasons why Pak cricket is where it is today?
Of course it is. The more international cricket you play, the better you'll become. Prime example, recent past the World Cup, where Australia won the World Cup. Every team was getting 300, 310, 315. It was part of norm. And Pakistan 240, 250 because they're not playing enough T20. They're not playing in IPL. They hardly play any cricket in UAE, maybe a couple of series in a year. And there is no expenditure by Pakistan Cricket Board as far as the first class structure is concerned. The passion is there. It's Pakistan, it's cricket, but for some odd reason, PCB is not trying to invest the money into first-class cricket where actually it matters.
Right, Wasim bhai, we spoke about India versus Bangladesh, Pakistan versus Zimbabwe. Let's talk about the big one, India versus Pakistan. PCB chief met the BCCI chief. India-Pak series is set to resume after 2 years, but the government permission is still awaited. But personally, are you hopeful that the India-Pakistan series will happen?
I want it to happen. And you know, it's so much fun. It's so entertaining when Pakistan is playing India. Both the countries are away a couple of days before the game. The only discussion they do on the on parties or wherever they get together, lunches, dinners, it's Indo-Pak cricket, and everybody's involved and everybody's happy. So you know, I think I am quite excited when I've heard that PCB chairman was here and had a meeting with the BCCI president, and I think it's a good start. Let's hope it happens soon. Doesn't matter whichever, Dubai or India or England or Australia, as long as Pakistan and India they compete against each other.
Right. So, Wasim, you want this series to happen, but there are people on both sides of the border that don't want this series to happen and cite tension on the border as the main reason. What would you like to tell those people?
Yeah, देखिए, politics aside, sports gotta go on. And I was a sportsman, and I'm an ambassador from my country into this country, and I get welcomed here with open arms. And cricket should go on. Cricket is in our blood. Cricket is what we're all about. So I think, you know, as they say, the game should go on.
Right. As cricket journalists, also we look forward to an India-Pakistan series. Wasim bhai, before we let you go, my final question. You spent time recently with Arjun Tendulkar in the nets. What did he ask you, and what tips did you give him? We believe he's a left-arm fast bowler.
He's a young 15 years old kid like any other kid in India, Pakistan or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, who's very enthusiastic about his cricket. He's a left-arm medium pacer, and obviously I was the right choice to give him some suggestions. Obviously a little bit on fitness, little bit on wrist positioning, and I explained it to him that, you know, we discussed the grip about bringing the ball back into the right-hander. I said, when I see you after 3 months, when you have control on this delivery, then we talk about the away swingers. So he had a lot of questions like any other youngsters, and he's quite passionate, and that's a good sign.